Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys out there are having a great day. I'm having a very weird type of day because right now I think I'm moving in like slow motion, it feels like. But I started really early, so it's really early in the morning, so I feel like I have a lot of work to get done. But it's like not the case because I'm ending early, so it's really weird. But I did some cold outreach as I usually do. I started my morning off with some cold outreach, and of course, it is what it is. Just going through names, and I actually, which is really weird, um, I actually figured out and started to learn now like a rhythm of how to do it and how to get way more people. I got like 25 people, which is wild to do in one session for me. That's wild to do. It's obviously not 25 clients. It's 25 leads technically. And yeah, so that's exciting. That's great. And I think it's going to be really weird moving on. Like moving on like past this stage. The stage that I'm in now, I'm starting to get used to it. It started off like really odd and really like cold feeling where it felt like school. And today I'm kind of getting that feeling again. Yeah, I'm getting that feeling again of like I'm back in I'm back in school, just like I want to go home, you know? But we're here and we're doing it. And I'm not going to say, nothing can stop us, but nothing can stop us. I've proven to have made this track that I've made so many times. It was like when I used to do around 5 pull-ups a set, right? I still do the same workout, but I remember getting to 5 and being like, I shouldn't move on to 6 because I haven't exactly nailed 5 yet. And I had convinced myself that I hadn't nailed 5. I did nail 5. 5 was already done. It was already done, sealed. I can move on. But because I wanted to nail 5, because of the uncertainty of whether or not I'll nail 5, that was the whole idea of like, should I move on? Should I not move on? I'm not saying I'm in that now in terms of work. I'm saying that for some reason I'm like thinking that I'm not going to nail 8 hours. It's like I've done 8 hours so many times before. And another cool thing that I've been looking forward to is like on the first day, these next 2 days are very interesting because on tomorrow is halfway to 50 days. And I have it written in my notebook like day 1, 2, I have it all written to 50. I'm crossing off the days to 50 and then I'm going to add another 50 obviously and just keep moving forward. But tomorrow's that halfway point. It's the 24th today. And what's cool about the 24th is it's 24/24. I'll tell you that. Because it's 2024. It's like, I feel like it's like a lucky day. I always have that like every year. Like 2023, I felt like it was epic. Like it's 2023. Let's go. You know what I mean? Um, but like every time it was January 23rd or anything like that, I always had that stuck in my mind. So yeah, today's the 24th, Kobe Day of every month. And yeah, it's so later I think it's going to get far more weird. What I was saying with that was I think it's going to get different in terms of like my reaction time, how much I'm working. I'm going to start to realize how much work it takes, which I'm noticing now. And I know Alex Hormozy talks a lot about this, so I'm kind of ripping him off on this, but he talks about how people start a new thing and they move forward and move forward and move forward, and then they reach the valley of despair, right? Where you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't move forward. And the people that make it through that succeed or just keep going. And the people who don't, they're average. Now, I wonder if I already passed it. I was thinking about this. I really wonder if I've already passed my valley of despair. Because if you go back to a lot of the other videos, I was tired. I didn't want to keep going. But was that my valley of despair to a certain extent? Is it waiting to happen? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? Because I think the whole idea of like 90-day workout, right? It's like in 90 days, you're going to lose weight. You can lose weight in 90 days if you stay consistent. I think 90 days will be a nice telltale sign. Okay, you're doing good. I haven't reached day 90 at all. To me, 100 days is like a feat, So it starts to make me go, well, it starts to make me think, right? Well, what's the time where I'm going, All right, well, you have certainty. Because I'm just looking for certainty. I'm like, when is the time when I can look back and go, okay, that's what I did. That was great. That's it. I know for the rest of my life I'm going to keep going. And I think it's one of those things where the first week, it was like, well, I already did a week, so you could do another. First 2 weeks, well, I already did 2 weeks, so I could do another 2 weeks. I think once I hit a year, it'll be like, well, I could do another year. And once I do 5 years, I could do a half a decade. I could do a full decade, because of all this proof that I have and proof that I'll gain. So I'm going to move on right now. I'm going to move on to Succession. You guys are going to see me after I'm done with all the beats and all the real difficult stuff. So see you guys there. I just finished pretty much everything that's difficult. So now it's all about easy stuff, And I'm watching, you guys probably know, I'm watching Succession as I produce. And one of the biggest things that I think I've taken away from today's episodes that I've watched, because they've been so great, one of the biggest things I've taken away is being a spoiled kid and what that exactly means and how you become a spoiled kid. Because, a little bit about me, I'm someone that's a little more well off, compared to a lot of other people. And I could admit that. And I'm far more spoiled than a lot of other people. Like I said, I could admit that too, And so now my question becomes, when does it cross the line of, all right, you're like a spoiled brat? Because being spoiled is being spoiled. It might not be up to me. Maybe that was my parents' decision, and whether they're right or wrong about that, it's a different situation. The situation at hand is, when do you become a spoiled brat? And for me, it's like, how can I help with my family, with anybody I even see in public or anybody I enjoy? Do I only help people or volunteer for people who I enjoy their company or who have done something nice for me? These are questions that I'm having lately, because I do volunteer. I volunteer, I wouldn't say, a lot, but I volunteer for people, select group of people who I really do love. And I have a big part of my heart goes out to them because they're great. And they haven't done, it's not like they've done so much for me and my family. It's that what they do, I agree with. That's really it. It's just that what they do, I agree with. So now it's like, well, okay, people who you disagree with, in terms of me, people who I disagree with, I don't help them. And it's like, obviously not, because do I think they don't deserve help? It's tricky. It's tricky. I think that the line kind of gets drawn between, like, you're just spoiled and a spoiled brat. For me, gets drawn when my parents have to go out of their way to do something for me that I could have done like that. That's when I think it gets drawn. And yesterday, I kind of had a similar situation where I noticed myself becoming just this little kid again, like a baby having a tantrum. And I stopped, apologized to my mom for a second. I'm like, all right, this is stupid of me. That's something a little boy would do, not a man. And I know I'm not a man yet. I'm only 19 years old. Started this business, e-commerce business, selling beats. And if I move forward and if I keep going to the level that I think I'll get to, what do I do then? Right? A lot of people have trouble thinking about that. What do you do then? For me, I know that, in terms of family at least, for me, I know a lot of people who help their family out in terms of money. My family, like I said, I'm quote unquote well off, so I'm not going to buy my mom a house. She has a house, right? Or my dad, I'm not going to buy him a house either. You know what I mean? I'm not going to buy him things and be like, well, now that I'm rich, what do you want? You know what I mean? Because we never had money. It's like, no, he always made it seem like, for us, that wasn't necessarily the priority. We're grateful that we have it, of course. But the priority is the values, because that's how you get more money. Like, that's how you let this thing compound. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in this cycle of wanting money without even earning it or knowing how to earn it. And I don't like the whole idea of like spiritually earning it, or earning it through hard work and just earn. No, it's like sometimes it's hard work, of course, obviously, but sometimes it's also just doing the thing, and your hard work can go out the window. You just do the thing. You know what I mean? You just sacrifice and take the steps that it takes to get rich. But if you don't know that, which comes through a lot of values, and what good or bad, some are bad, but some good values too of discipline and staying on track, impulse control, right? These are the things that are going to help me, I think are going to help me make money in the future, and I believe it so much that I do it 8 hours a day every day. You know what I mean? And 8 hours to me is a small number in my head. I want to go bigger. I dream bigger than 8 hours. I want to go longer and do things, extend my period and make it even more, even stronger, like my soul, my will, my guts, like really, really get in there and make sure that I have it deeply rooted in me, this strength. And 8 hours to me, of course, is certain strength that it takes to get there for me, but not quite my dream, All right, so I'm going to go edit some videos. I definitely have to edit a podcast, but first I'm going to record. I have to record some Instagram reels, and I'll be back to you guys when I'm done with everything I have to do for the day. So I'll see you there. So I just finished everything I have to do for the rest of the day, and if you guys have been watching the channel, I love saying that. I really do. It's something I look forward to every day. So yeah, I finished everything I have to do, and I feel energetic. I feel so energetic. I'm ready to, as I usually say, my token phrase, punch a wall, or punch through a wall, rather. And yeah, I'm excited to see what tomorrow's going to hold, because these next 2 days after today, these next 2 days are going to be not break time. Friday is going to be break time. Today's Wednesday, so Friday is going to be pretty extreme break time. Thursday is going to be like normal, and then I have something to do after with my brother, which is going to be so exciting. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I'm glad that even though I don't, I don't extremely look forward to being here every time I'm here in this room, right, filming, whatever it is, I still get it done, and I still get it done high quality. Maybe not the highest quantity as I'd love it to be, but definitely high quality, and I feel as if it is. I feel as if every time I speak to you guys, it's real and it's coming from here. I'm not phoning it in. I'm not trying to get you guys to buy my beats, right? I'm straight up just being me, and talking to you about what that means. Because my mind does go to deep places. I'm also, I never really, now that I think about it, I never really mentioned this on a podcast or anything. I'm completely sober of everything. And I'm 19, so legally I have to be, right? But I don't drink. I don't smoke weed, nothing. I never really have. Never. It's like it's never been even close to an addiction for me. Both of those things have never been even close to an addiction for me. And I always talk about, I don't want this to sound like a weed conversation. I've said that a couple times on a podcast. I'm like, I don't want this to go too deep like a weed conversation, but I've never really had a weed conversation ever. Never had a weed conversation. So, yeah, isn't that weird? I'm like, I never thought about it like that. I always think of myself as someone that will, someone that's not sober, but I'm like, I say I'm sober and people are like, oh, you got clean. And I'm like, no, I always was. I'm like, why try it, For me, it's not a risk. Doing alcohol and weed, it's just not a risk for me. The risk is actually doing this stuff. This stuff I know I can get to a dark place in my mind. At least with weed, I know I'm going to have fun. The risk is long term. With this, the risk is short term. It's just short term unpleasure, right? It's just short term BS. Whereas with weed, it's long term hate, short term love, right? I think. I never really done it before. Just never really even thought anything of it. I had friends that did and tried to convince me a couple times. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I'm the archetype. I would, right? It's like the way I talk. I mean, me on weed, I think my mind is just going to be, it's just going to explode with ideas that are so deep and thinking that I'm so smart. But yeah, I think an idea that I have right now is where am I in time in my life? Where am I in time, and what am I going to think about these days when I'm older? Right? Am I going to say those were the days that was that month that I really had it together and cleaned up my act? Am I going to say that was the month that saved my life? That was I wish I would have kept doing that. Like, what is it going to be, Is it going to be something I regard as helpful? I think so. I already regard it as helpful, in terms of discipline and making my mind realize, not giving my mind all these short-term pleasures all the time. Not just waking up and living in Pleasureville and just consuming and consuming and consuming, and rather the opposite, creating. And even if the creating is boring and I'm not doing the creating that I want to be doing, which is like writing a script or writing a song that I want to write, instead I'll write trap music because I have to, and because I think it's a better business decision. Me personally, I'm not telling you guys what you should do. If you do it for art, if anything, I think of you as even better if you're just doing it for art, and especially if you don't care about putting it out or anything, and you're just doing it just to do it. Epic. That's the best word I could say for that. Epic. All right, I'm going to end the YouTube video here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I really do hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy my journey so far. So, as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.